On today's episode of the Heating Up podcast, you're stuck with just the fellas today.
No
Mike and I are in town, just the grown-ups. We're going to cover a little bit of the NFL draft. We're going full deep dive on the first round of the NBA playoffs. I unfortunately need to talk about my Tottenham Hotspur, the Premier League, what's going on, and then we will dive into Heat Check and look to stay hot, make our listeners some money. So here we go. Get ready. Now's the time. Episode 50. Don't miss it. Here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
He's heating up.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!
He's on fire. Cristiano Ronaldo. Sensational. Boom shakalaka.
You believe in miracles? Yes!
There it goes. See ya.
He's heating up.
Trying to get open, fires away.
Fire! It's over. The Bulls win at the buzzer. Touchdown. Unbelievable.
Welcome to episode 50 of the Heating Up podcast. It's a big one. Unfortunately, Sarah is unable to make it today. Little issues with the flights. I think it's the Masters trying to keep her down, but maybe that's just me. Maybe that's putting the tinfoil hat on a little too early.
They took her passport. She's in Guantanamo Bay right now.
Oh, God willing. I think she's tough enough to make it out. I think she can make it. She's watched the Dallas Cowboys
resourceful
for all these years. Yeah, she can survive. So diving right into football, we want to do a little bit of glossing over on this because a little teaser for the people. We will have an interview next week with a draft professional. So you'll need to make sure you're tuning in to episode 51. But episode 50, we got to talk a little NFL draft still. We got to talk a little bit about our teams. So, Mike, your Buffalo Bills, real barn burner of a draft. I want to let you start.
Yeah, so as predicted, we traded a couple future picks, and we got our star receiver, DK Metcalf. I'm really pumped about that.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's what happened, right? I mean,
because I just said it and forget it. I thought we were good.
The internet
I
cut
thought
out,
we
I
knew
think.
the plan. Yeah.
You say DK Metcalf is a Bill? Right, that's happening. That happened?
I did say that for sure we would be getting a number one receiver veteran in the draft.
You got him.
Well, see the Bill signs behind me. I'm an expert.
You're doing it. But we were sitting there together and we were just waiting for that Bills pick and we just kept seeing it go, fall deeper, go back. So, I feel like you got to feel good about your team if they're making those moves. And it's like you just at least got to hope that somebody behind the scenes knows you're accumulating draft capital, you're moving back. That just feels like a smart guy move with a good team.
Yeah, well, we got Keon Coleman out of Florida State. Everything from the moment we drafted him has been great. He's hilarious. He seems like he's Josh Allen's brother from another mother. Like, he's goofy. He likes to have fun. He seems to already be a hit with the front office, with the players. There was a clip of him playing Madden as the Bills throwing to himself. I guess he created himself as a Bill already. There's a really funny. There's a really funny Instagram of him. They're showing him the cryogenic chamber that they have there.
Okay.
And so there's one clip and it's him like standing at the entrance with the smoke, and then the next one is him like pressed up against the glass, like pretending to be screaming to get let out.
I'm always nervous about those ever since that Antonio Brown thing where he just like burned his foot off.
Yeah, well, we're years of head injuries away from that. So that's second contract problems, not first. He's 20. He's almost 6'4". He, I think his draft stock went down a lot because the quarterback on Florida State got hurt. That Travis something. He got drafted as well. But I mean, they were undefeated this year. They were the team that got left out of the college football playoffs. So regardless, we got the receiver we wanted, or we wouldn't have traded back because we were at 28. Xavier Worthy gets picked by the Chiefs, who we traded the pick to, and everybody goes, ape shit that how could you do that? You look what you just gave the Chiefs. It's like, well, we could have drafted him if we wanted him. And instead we picked up their third round pick, which we drafted Dwayne Carter from Duke, who's a defensive tackle, 3-time team captain, like looks like somebody's going to be a really valuable addition to our line. And we still got the receiver we were looking for. And I know that because why would we have traded back 2 times?
It's a smart move. I love it. He's been an electric factory. Any of those, the whole, like, you know where I got this coat? It's like Tom Izzo, which is also like, not enough people, like, I mean, obviously he was funny with the Macy's thing, but not enough people are shitting on the guy that said, Tom Izzo. Yeah, the basketball coach is getting this wide receiver a coat. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
I don't think those reporters, that was like typical, like we don't get asked a lot of questions.
Yeah,
So,
it just
like,
froze.
Like, oh, like the teacher calls to you and you've not been paying attention for 30 minutes. It's like,
yeah. Michigan State, just going through names. It's like if they asked him, and he's like, "No, where else do you think?" The next guess would have just been like Magic Johnson.
Josh Allen buy
just,
you that?
yeah, it's just so stupid. So
Where we at?
still a little early, but no, I think I still
Not a
catch
record.
no, not a record, not even close.
Damn.
But yeah, I like that for you. It's going to be exciting. You got to get some weapons. I mean, you're going to have to replace Diggs' catches one way or another. And, it's a young receiver, young skill position players. It's always something to get excited about.
Yeah. And once again, to anybody, to all the people saying like we didn't do enough, like, well, I checked and we don't play on Sunday. So we still have like months to go to continue to build our roster. And, the more I look at it, we won't go pick by pick because you guys are going to have all year listening to me tell you about all of these rookies. But I was nervous about it in the beginning, like when you do a fantasy draft. When it finished, I looked at it and I was like, I hate this. This is terrible. And the more I've kind of thought about the way we're doing this, I think we've got the right pieces. And I'm going to get way out. I'm going to be really early on this. Travis Clayton, the offensive guard that we took with our 7th round pick from England, who has never played a game of football. He was a rugby player and a soccer player. He is 6'7", 307 pounds, and he ran a 4.79 40-yard dash. This man is a freak. If he learns how to play football, he is going to be somebody who makes our roster. Now, there'll be a huge chance he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got the physical gifts. There's a reason. It's what's his name? Joel Embiid. I mean, fuck Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid didn't touch a basketball until he was like 18. But it's just like somebody saw this 7-foot freak that's talented and has the ability to learn how. Is just athletic. Hopefully, he can be able to pick it up because that would be fun. And what was his name?
Look at the
Travis
size of him. Travis Clayton.
Yeah, I think is that the most racist name?
It's up there.
That feels like a real racist name. Like that guy's got some opinions about an NFL locker room that he shouldn't say.
I think he's African American. England. What is that?
Oh,
cut this whole part.
Never mind. I didn't know that they had black guys over there, but that one's on me.
They do. We actually had Christian Wade, who was also a black running back from England. We need Sarah. She would be like, guys.
Christian Wade literally means baptism.
Good news. He just lost a pound because I checked another one. He's actually 6'7", 301 pounds.
Oh, so he's getting fitter by the second.
Yeah, he's already turning that fat into muscle and getting into football shape. Where do you see a 6'7" guy coming out of England who played rugby? Could you imagine what that would have looked like on a? You watch soccer. He was a soccer player.
There's nobody even close to 6'7", especially if they're. I mean, the guy. What was his name? Peter Crouch. I don't know if you remember that name from back in the day, like in World Cup soccer times.
Yeah.
He was like the tallest guy ever to play soccer, and he looked gangly and silly out there. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't 6'7". Maybe he was. I'll have to fact check that. Former Tottenham Hotspur player, but. You look insane. Anybody who's like, we have Mickey Van de Ven plays on Tottenham right now. He's 6'4", and he looks like a horse out there. He looks enormous. So 6'7", 300 pounds.
301 pounds.
That's a big man.
I think he got to a point where they were like, look, man, you have to play football. You are too big. You're too big.
You got to get off these fields. We don't know what to do with you over in foggy London town.
I mean, to run a 4.7 40 at that. So Spencer Brown was another one of these. Like he's, I think, 6'8". Like he's gigantic, and he also is like very skilled. And they've developed him into where everybody was out on him. And last year, he was a really awesome right tackle. And if we can do that again and recreate it with this guy, the cool thing you might not know about what happens if you draft. They're part of that program to bring over English football players. You actually get a 17th spot on your practice squad.
Oh, Very cool.
So it's an
All right,
extra
well,
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's great. I like anything that you always also like to know that your team can manipulate these fine little rules that nobody really understands. It's good to know that somebody in your front office is like thinking about these things and knows how to play these little cards that everybody's like, wait, how are you doing this? It's like, all right, somebody's behind the wheel that knows what they're doing.
Yes.
And I'm also excited because that just means they're going to be on the Giants in 2 years. So that works for me.
True. Right. Yeah, we're your scouting for whatever we don't like. You guys, you're all set.
But speaking of what the Giants did that I do like is we stuck around and got what I think is arguably the best receiver in this draft now that he's ours. I love Malik Neighbors. I've been watching LSU highlights this whole year. He has been absolutely unguardable. He played every game. He's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger from what everybody's saying. He's going to be able to shield himself from these defensive backs. And frankly, we just need a playmaker because I like Wan'Dale Robinson, but him as like a number one receiver is not a realistic way to be competitive in football games. And I'm excited for Devin Singletary, I guess, but I think at this point, we all know what Devin Singletary is. We need somebody to throw the ball to. The Giants have invested a ton in the offensive line over the last bunch of drafts. We were able to pick up John Runyon from the Packers. Mm-hmm. So I like that we just needed to go with the skill position here, especially with it not being a strong defensive draft. I mean, our next two picks, we did go safety and then cornerback. Just seemed like some ball hawking guys. Apparently, I don't really know how to scout these guys because you look up highlights and everybody looks great on their highlight tapes. Like, holy shit, look at that guy's pick. Like, he's just laying out an amazing interception. Like, he's locking up these huge receivers. But it's like, you know, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sitting there and watching Andrew Phillips at Kentucky. I'm not watching all of his, every play.
You don't need to. You're not grinding that tape. I get it.
So
yeah, you got to trust your front office.
Got to trust it. So I basically went into it. I felt a little better when I realized, like, this draft, we're picking 6. This draft had what's supposed to be 3 top-tier can't-miss quarterback prospects and 3 top-tier can't-miss wide receiver prospects. So I'm like, we're drafting 6. We're going to get one of these 6 guys as long as we don't move out. I mean, from everything we've seen since then, even before we were talking about it, it seems like there were offers out to the Patriots to possibly move up and get Drake May. Who knows if we're going to regret not having that? It is going to be fun to have 2 Josh Allens in the same division. So we're going to get to see, it's going to be the Spider-Man meme of just like pointing at like, you're the same guy.
But my Spider-Man meme is going to be like 2 inches taller, more handsome, like in a nicer costume, hopefully wearing a couple of rings.
You told me size didn't matter just yesterday, so I'm not going to believe you now.
Well, I lied.
So I am absolutely thrilled with Neighbors. Him and Harrison. I mean, obviously everybody's saying Harrison is just as surefire gets, but I feel the same way about Neighbors. And if we can keep Daniel Jones protected, I think that already early rookie of the year candidate for Neighbors, because where else are we going with the ball? So I think he's going to get a ton of options. He's going to see the ball a lot coming right in. So if he can adapt to NFL speed, I think he can put up some numbers as long as, Daniel Jones or maybe Drew Lock can, stay on their feet.
Yeah, well, one of those 3 are going to bust. That was the argument I was having with somebody.
Ew.
Like, yeah. What? There's no way all 3 are going to be amazing, and like maybe I've just jinxed it. But I don't think Malik Neighbors is the one. I think it's going to be Rome Odunze because his development. I think is going to get stunted by having DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, and like what they're trying to do with this like super offense, like that shit. The only team I was trying to go through, and it's like who had it. Like this many could be, everybody says amazing players, and it's like the Kurt Warner Rams, like the greatest show on turf.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise it's usually like there's one big dog and there's a couple other guys coming up are good, and there, this seems like too many people trying to get them and the Texans, which is why Stephon Diggs shot Tank Dell, because he's got to shrink that locker room a little bit. That's why I told you, good luck with Diggs. He's already fallen down. He's shooting his own teammates. But I do think Neighbors is going to be really good, and he's got that confidence. He was talking about himself in the third person. That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's why I like Keon Coleman, because he's like, you want him to be a little wacky, a little like, almost, I don't want to say like Like what these guys do is they go out and they catch the football. The pressure doesn't get to him because that's all Malik Neighbors does. Malik Neighbors catches the football. That's how he would answer that question. And like
Yes.
Keon Coleman seems like he's so like almost spacey in a good way. Like where it's like it could be 3rd and 8 in the AFC Championship game, and he's not. His heartbeat's going to be the same as it always is.
Yeah,
Cracking jokes
100%.
in the huddle. Throw me the rock.
I love that.
I think he's going to be good.
And I'm also excited to be able to use all of these Mr. Rogers "Hello Neighbor" memes, or basically, it just seems like it's rife for me to be able to make content.
Yeah, well, all I can tell you is as a homeowner, I don't really love my neighbors, so I hope you have better luck.
I'm going to send. Hopefully, they're not listening right now.
I doubt it.
And if you are listening right now, Mike,
neighbors, go ahead.
Mike is very interested in joining your fantasy league.
Oh yes. Save me a White Claw, would you?
Other than that, Sarah left us some notes here on the Cowboys draft. 5 of their 8 picks were linemen, 3 offensive, 2 defensive, which helps fill their holes. And it just always seems like the Cowboys find ways to draft good linemen on both sides of the ball. So unfortunately, I kind of trust them on that. I wouldn't be saying that if she was here. But they didn't pick a running back. But you know what they did do?
They brought
Zeke's
him back.
coming home.
He's coming home. He's coming
home. I just all I could think the whole time is that's what Jerry Jones was scribbling on that notepad. He's like, what if Zeke? I remember Zeke. That name sounds familiar. That guy does the cereal thing. I like cereal. Can we bring him back? He shows me his tummy. I like in his warm-ups when he wears his shirt up high and I get to see his tummy. Bring him back.
I just read an article and it was like, we played for the Cowboys for 7 years and I was like, oh my God. It's just
so long.
So old. It's so old for a running back. It's so old.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they spent a lot of money on him. I'm excited for next week to hear Sarah's recap as well as the rest of our special guests' draft thoughts on this. But Sarah so far said this did crack me up. She was hoping for a C.J. Anderson 2019 season, if anything, a boost in the locker room. So if we're shooting for 2019 C.J. Anderson, I feel just fine about the state of the Cowboys going into next year.
Right. Yes. CJ, that year. Boy,
it's whatever. That's how I know 2019. Is it the year before COVID or is it the CJ Anderson year?
I had, if he hadn't had such a good year, would we have had COVID to begin with?
No, I don't think so.
People are talking.
The other thing that obviously made tremendous news, and then we'll get off the draft and save it all for next week, but Penix going 9 to the Falcons. I've changed my tune on it. There's enough negative press out there now where it just seems like this is the beginning of the storyline where they're just in 5 years when he's like on his way to a Super Bowl where everybody's going to be like, look at all these crying Falcons fans. Here's just like the million videos. It's going to be like the Kristaps Porzingis thing where it's like they're showing the kid crying when he got drafted. It's just going to be that thing where like he's going to he's going to end up being incredible, and then they're just going to have like this multitude of videos of all these people being like, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Or also Kirk Cousins could just go like trip on his way into church or something, and all of a sudden, guess who's your starting quarterback?
Yeah, right. Trip on his way to church, but they paid the church to like fuck up all the pavement so that Kirk Cousins does trip. Think about it.
Now we're going to step deep.
We're going to have a quarterback controversy. I'm going to say within 6 games of the season. So they have effectively sabotaged themselves, which is crazy.
Is Kirk Cousins
Kirk Cousins should be pumped.
Yeah, he's not young, and like he did tear his ACL at the end of last year. Like that's
Aaron Rodgers could have played. Aaron Rodgers could have played in 3 months.
Yeah, I don't know if Kirk Cousins is a darkness retreat guy.
I read an article. He was listening to dolphins having sex, and it was really helping him with the recovery. He got that from Aaron Rodgers.
He's like
that's a real story.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's a real story.
Oh boy,
I will text it to you. We'll share it on the Instagram.
Some of those crazy farmers that just like play classical music for their plants and be like, I got 25% more corn because I played the Beethoven.
Yeah, he was literally listening to dolphins mating. Yeah. I think if you're going to pay Kirk Cousins, if you're going to pay Kirk Cousins $180 million, because basically, so 2 years are basically guaranteed. So whatever that money is, let's say it's $60 million. And at the worst, he gets to be a 36-year-old backup quarterback. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's why, like, on top of a few minor factors, why I'm not a professional quarterback. But, like, I would be like, how much are you going to pay me to hold a clipboard? Yeah, you got it. I'll buy donuts in the morning for the whole quarterback room.
I don't want to, obviously it's not going to be near as funny if I say it, but there was, I don't know if you heard the whole Daniel Tosh bit, the whole joke where he was talking about where he's getting mad about people telling Brett Favre to retire. And he's like, Brett Favre could make as a backup? A couple $1 million. He's like, yeah, sign me. He's like, he's not good enough to be a backup. He's going to be a practice squad guy. You know what those guys make? That's $750,000. Sign me up. Throw me in some pads, whatever you need. And he's like, that's good for the fans too. You can't tell me you don't want some 75-year-old out there fielding a punt. You see him get lit up.
It's so much money. It's so much money to not get your ass kicked in. I mean, I know they want to play, but like it's okay. He's not getting paid $750,000. He's getting paid like $30 million a year. It's insane. It's insane.
Oh, well, good for them. I'm excited to see how it plays out. And now, just with all of the negative press, I've now changed my tune. I thought it was insane, but now I'm completely ready for him to be like the best quarterback out of this whole draft. It just feels like the storyline set up.
Yeah, well, I liked him. He was awesome this year. Michigan's defense, which is a college defense, did kind of like shut them down. And they did have Roma Dunze, so we'll see. And he's got some medical stuff that's not great.
Yeah, and I think he's like 45, right?
I think he's literally going to be 24. So like by this, like, he'll be starting at like 27.
Oof, that's crazy. Not good. But moving on, NBA first round has been incredibly exciting. We've had some great games. Some series have already buttoned themselves up, and in the next 2 days here, we are going to probably reach the end of most of these other series. So we are looking forward to some good basketball, but we need to start it out. I wrote this headline before I knew Sarah was not going to be able to join us today. The Heat are dead. They put them out of their misery. I don't even feel like they're dead. I feel like they've been dead for a while. I feel like somebody finally Jason Tatum just came and finally just put a bullet in their brain and got this over with.
Yeah, I mean, no Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, or Terry Rozier.
Yeah, I can't believe they got a game. I can't believe they won a game, dude. That's like winning the series for me.
Yeah, that they were so undermanned, so just, I guess, I don't want to say untalented, but compared to, you had to go up against the best team in the league this year, and the fact that you were able to steal a game is completely remarkable. Yeah, the rest of the games were what? I don't know if they kept any of them within 15,
No,
20.
blowouts. Yeah, blowouts.
Yeah. So, the Celtics deserved it. You can see why they're deservedly favorites to win, but it's like you knock any of these two teams' best players, or any of these teams' best two players out, it's going to be hard to beat any one of these other teams on any given day, especially, having to go up against that buzzsaw. So, but there was a brief, I think it was game 3 or 4, where you realize just how fragile this like injury bug can be and how quickly everything can turn. I think it was like right at the beginning or the middle of the second half. There was a dead ball foul, and Tatum like pulled up from deep just to like shoot, whatever. Sometimes the players just do that to get hot or whatever. Mm-hmm. Pulled up from deep, and Adebayo, obviously the defenders also still try to defend those because they don't like the guys that try to get hot. And Tatum landed on his ankle, and it was a real hard, horrible ankle turn. He was laying on the ground for probably 2 minutes, like writhing. Obviously, it didn't keep him out of the game, but it's just like one freak thing like that. And then all of a sudden, who's the favorites in the East? Like Jason Tatum goes down with some ankle injury and is out for an extended period of time. Like maybe you never know. It's just amazing how we just talk about these things that they're so in the bound of. Like, oh, yeah, the Celtics are just going to walk through the East. Like, one random freak thing like that. We saw with Porzingis.
Well,
Porzingis is going to be out.
Porzingis is going to be out longer than they're saying, too.
Yeah, he's just so long and doesn't exactly have a history of healing well.
It was a non-contact leg injury. They're like a minimum of several games. That's the most vague. He is... Porzingis is the thing that makes that takes them to this level of like one of the best offensive and defensive teams we've ever seen.
Yeah.
One bad step. It happened to Kawhi Leonard against the Warriors. They changed the rule because of him when he landed on Zaza Pachulia's foot.
What's he doing nowadays?
A couple jokes I can't make on the podcast. I have no idea. Probably an assistant coach.
Ugly man. That's a scary looking man.
A huge head. Like an Arvydas Sabonis head, if you know what I'm talking about.
If he was born like 400 years before, he looked like that in the middle of Europe and was 7 feet tall, he would have just been the king somewhere.
Yeah, or like been like chained up and like brought out in like gladiator type events.
He had just been forced to fight a lion.
Yeah, he's gonna be the mountain in the sequel of Game of Thrones, maybe.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, he has not played any basketball since 2019. Got a lot of 3 times Turkish Presidential Cup winner from 2001 to 2003. So
has he gotten
what more
fat?
can you say about the guy?
Looks
not
like
from what I see. If anything, he looks even scarier actually.
Ozempic,
but good for him. He legally, Zaza Pachulia is on Ozempic. That's all we know. His Wikipedia page ends before his NBA career does. It just stops talking about him in 2017, but he played until 2019. So hopefully he's still alive. I think Putin got to him.
Oh, I was gonna say they probably have him out there somewhere, but well, there. I guess I just did say it. There you go.
There you go.
Zaza Pachulia. I'm gonna keep diving. Let's just do. You know what?
Let's do an hour on Zaza.
About Zaza. Yeah.
Other than that, Thunder looks amazing and the T-Wolves look amazing. I don't know which one of them I like more. I'm leaning towards the T-Wolves, but they both just cruise through those series. The Thunder are fun. Both of them have homegrown talent. Both of them just, kind of have a plucky underdog vibe, even though they were like incredible all year. I think it's really just because they don't have any of those, top name guys, the Giannis's, the LeBrons, whatever. And I feel like those teams get, forgotten a little bit about and don't get the burn in the media that they necessarily deserve. But just from watching the Thunder, I feel like my big thing is that Holmgren doesn't make sense to me. He's just like too tall and thin and looks like a baby deer. And he just doesn't, I know that he's enormous, like just height wise, but he just doesn't look like a professional athlete to me. And I can't really wrap my head around it.
Yeah, I used to think it was a joke when I was watching his like high school tapes. They're like, this guy's number 1 in the country. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He's awesome.
He's so good.
And he's got I can't believe he made that commercial with Shea.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I hate his hair. I hate his beard. He looks like an alien.
And when he talks, it doesn't sound like that voice should come out of that body.
No. But as much as I dislike looking at him, SGA is so much fun to watch. And just just going back into the T-Wolves as well. I mean, now I feel like he's starting to get the national acclaim as a basketball player and how fucking good he is. But Anthony Edwards is just an absolute destroyer.
Yeah, hey, before we get to that, I just want to say Zaza Pachulia is I'm on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Dude, he's kind of hot.
He's a hot guy.
He's gotten hot. He's had a glow up. And let me just also, he looks like I think he's very happily married.
Good for him. I'd hope
you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? He's very happy in his marriage. But check out his Instagram.
Is he not?
No, I mean,
Zaza.
He's done well for himself.
Oh, was he just? Is it one of those? Who was the hockey player that just?
A wife. He's got a hot wife. His wife's real hot.
I didn't say it. You didn't say it. Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah, he's aged kind of good. He looks better now than his basketball player. Because I didn't want to go down the Anthony Edwards hole and then come back to Zaza because I've just been staring at his Instagram.
It would have been too far away. Yeah, his head is enormous.
Yeah, but he's got a nice that Eastern European. He's aged okay.
Yeah. Then it's all going to come falling down. He's going to hit 60 years old. He's just going to have just going to have a belly full of vodka. Yeah, I found them. They look happy together.
Yeah.
She also looks she maybe graduated high school when he was on the Warriors. So good for him.
He's a champ. All right.
So Anthony Edwards, how do you feel about him?
Amazing. Michael Jordan reincarnated.
That's what people are saying.
I think he's my favorite player in the league that's not Steph Curry. Like I can see it's like I can see Steph Curry like the meme of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle meme where it's like Steph Curry walking with a young Anthony Edwards, and now like as Curry's getting old, now it's them walking off old Curry. Like that's how my basketball fandom's gonna go. I love the kid. I love him.
Is he just going to get forgotten about in Minnesota? Is Minnesota going to become a bigger market? Are they going to draw more players in there? It's like they're hard to watch. Like like during the regular season when it's not in the playoffs, people aren't talking about the Wolves, unfortunately.
Well, was anybody talking about Golden State Warriors before Curry?
Good point.
I mean, when it was Chris Mullin, when it was like run
back in the day,
them. But no, nobody gave a shit. I remember Baron Davis when they beat the Mavs. They were like the 8th seed, and they beat the Mavs. Yeah. Like you weren't seeing Baron Davis and Jason Richardson games on TV. No. I mean, the stars dictate the what's going to be nationally televised.
The TV.
I mean, and A-Rod's trying to buy him still. There's that.
He still hasn't done that.
America's most lovable superstar.
He's just gonna blow it up somehow.
Oh, totally. No, he's gonna start giving everybody steroids. Anthony Edwards is going to. I think he's going to dictate where this league goes. Like it's going to go on his shoulders. He's the best American player.
He's so fucking good. Yeah, and he's 22.
Today, he's the best American player today.
I can't think of anybody that would be able to dispute that. I think,
Kevin Durant said he was his favorite player to watch.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's got to be good.
He's got that killer instinct. I mean, and look, he is 22, so like if it does flame out, like that's normal, but I also think they could beat the Nuggets.
Ooh. I know you did call me and said it's time to put a bet on the T-Wolves.
Plus 1,100. I bet you it's not even that anymore. I'm going to check.
And then on the opposite,
I love that team. I just
on the opposite side of that, the Suns are just completely a dumpster fire. They're screwed for what seems to be the next 10 years, 5-10 years. They're going to have to make some outrageous moves. Like the team is either going to look exactly the same and have the exact same result, or it's going to look 100% different because they have to move everybody.
Well, what do you think? What do you think they're going to do?
I think they're just going to roll the same shit out there. I don't think obviously they can't move Beal, and I guess what are they going to trade Durant? Like maybe who's going to want to take him? Obviously Durant's still amazing, but he's not a young guy anymore. Like I don't really know what kind of trade he's going to garner. Like
we mentioned a team I think might take him.
You think he's going to go back to the Thunder?
I do.
Why would they want to do that? I mean, how deep do the Thunder have to go for them to not want to entertain that deal?
Well, they have so many picks. They have more picks than they could draft.
Right, but then then it's like, do you want to just spend all of this extra cap space that you have on Kevin Durant? I mean, I guess now that I'm saying it, maybe
they're the one seed in the West with a bunch of guys still on rookie deals. Now's the time to spend that money on Kevin Durant.
Right, push him over. You make it to the finals. You make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Isn't that a nice bow on Kevin Durant's career if he could win a title with OKC, comes back?
Would people just view is it going to be the same thing, that classic KD storyline, like go to the best team that doesn't win the title this year and then he moves? I mean, it's the same exact storyline he had before.
But marketing people spin it. It's the Carmelo Anthony, I'm coming home, not like I requested a trade from Denver.
Yeah, and
it's the homecoming.
Yeah, and the Suns, they have to make a change. If they don't make a change, that's maybe the stupidest organization in sport. Like that, how you can't just do the same thing. You just got embarrassed. All those stories come out about how they don't respect the coach. Like, just seems horrible, all time bad vibes there.
Well, they don't own the rights to their draft pick first round for like 6 years too.
Yeah, I think it's like till 2030 or 2031.
They lose they don't have it like every other year because you can't trade back-to-back years anymore because teams were killing themselves and having no picks, so they had to literally like handcuff them so they couldn't do that. But then every other year they have swaps. So pick
stupid.
Swaps. So it's just there's no way out of it, but they could trade Kevin Durant and get 3 firsts or 4 or 5 from the like if you're Oklahoma City at some point, it's like that pick, the compiling of picks needs to stop, and you got to make a move.
Right. You need to change that illiquid asset into Kevin Durant.
Yeah, well, and they'll probably have to give up somebody. It's just like that's where I feel like they could really screw it up because they have a lot of talented players. It's like who they trade, if they trade a person, is very, that will determine if that trade is even worth it. But it's all hypothetical. That team is going to – Bradley Beal's not a winner. There's a guy who doesn't win. No.
If Chet and Durant are on the same team, is there a team with a more outrageous height to weight ratio? I mean, that's
no.
insane.
Did Sean Bradley ever play with Muggsy Bogues? I think they did.
That is a pretty funny ratio. This was just Durant and Chet standing next to each other. That's just like outside of a car depot with the wacky waving inflatable tube men, just the two of them playing defense.
Every step they both take, I'd be afraid they're going to get hurt.
Other than that, Nuggets moved on. I guess the Lakers made it exciting every game. It just, I think I texted you this. It was every single game. It was just tortoise in the hair vibes. It was just Anthony Davis and LeBron giving it absolutely everything they had. And it was just at the end, it was just, Giannis or, Jokic just kind of wading through water. Just like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have one cool, like incredibly cool play a game. We're not going to be able to be stopped. Like you guys are going to burn out and we're just going to be winning when it matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think they did just that. They waited it out. They let them kind of like shoot their shot and then they made defensive adjustments. They're a much better team. It doesn't matter. I didn't give up hope. I wasn't hoping, but I didn't give up. I didn't count the Lakers out. But at the end of the day, like it's just, you're not going to win every game by 30. The fact is they came down to care of business, and Jamal Murray is like, he's leveling up here with these game winners. Like he's a real problem, especially at the end of games.
He's really good. And also, I just always feel like I need to mention this once a year. It's like we can't forget that he did post a picture of his dick on Snapchat. So I feel like we
think about it. Yep. I can see it in my mind now. Thanks.
Every time I see his stupid unshaved beard, I think about it. Maybe that's
so
just
curly, so curly.
And then before we talk to we talk about the piece de resistance, the two series I care the least about: Cavs, Magic, Buck, Pacers. I mean, they're good series, both 3-2. I don't really care. It just feels like both of these are the forgotten series, and they're paying. Obviously the Knicks Sixers we're going to get to in a second, and then the Celtics. It just seemed like a foregone conclusion to whoever wins this Knicks Sixers series. Will I think everybody's kind of expecting to beat whoever they have to face, and then same deal for the Celtics. So I feel like they're just like hiding these games at weird times that nobody really cares about.
Yeah, well, the Magic actually won at 11:30 yesterday morning. Did you see that? If had the Pacers closed out the Bucks yesterday, I would have. One of the things I would have come on here saying is like I would watch out Knicks Sixers, but they got beat by a team without Lillard and Giannis by like 20 points. Don't be fooled. You're right. I do the Cavs and the Magic. The Magic are an up-and-coming team. The Cavs, I think, are on the verge of going the other direction because Mitchell's going to leave.
I like the Pacers thing to say. It's going to look good in the Mecca. It's going to look good in the Knicks uniform.
Yeah. That's not the guy they need.
No, absolutely not. That's just what
they should go get. They should go get Devin Booker.
The Knicks?
Yeah.
Don't be talking dirty to me. I'd love that guy.
Yeah, but then they would have to. It's all about what they would have to give up. Devin Booker, I think, because his guys, he's like with Leon Rose and all them.
Yeah.
He's from Kentucky. So, yeah, I think both of these series, you're right. They're kind of like these teams aren't going to get out of the next round, whoever wins.
The only thing that scares me is do I need to be worried if Giannis comes back? Like, are they legitimate Eastern contenders? Like, if he comes back fully healthy?
No. That team is old. And they've got bigger issues beyond just the personnel. Getting rid of their coach when they were like 30-10 or whatever their record was, and bringing in Doc Rivers mid-season. It's just no. I don't think the Bucks are serious contenders. I don't think they're a serious
It
team.
surprises me. Yeah, I keep forgetting that Doc Rivers is their coach, and that immediately makes me feel less worried.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just came out of it. It's like they had Adrian Griffin there. They had a great winning record, and then I think he was coaching them too hard, and they didn't like it. Well, you get what you asked for.
Speaking of coaching too hard, the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very nervous about tonight. We are recording this at about 6:30 p.m. The day of Game 6, going into Philly. Tyrese Maxey was an absolute fucking beast in Game 5. He was unbelievable and made me feel like he's going to be like a real player in the league for a while because he was so goddamn good.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey's going to be like he might be like he might be the best point guard in the league in like 2 years. He's that good.
I just hate that. I just want to be able to win one of these games, and it's like every one of these games is just like start to finish, just full on stress factory. I just hate it so much. At the end of this game, they were both of the teams. I can't just say it was the Knicks. Both of the teams were missing free throws at the end. Maxey, he was like 89% on the season or something. He missed 3 straight in the second half. But then Brunson missed a free throw. Josh Hart missed a free throw that would have hopefully won us the game. But the thing that just drove me crazy is that the 4-point play for Mitchell Robinson on Tyrese Maxey that was just inexcusable. He's shooting the 3. Get your hand in his face. Sure. Well, you don't need to be jumping at him from a million miles away and give him the option to even take that foul. So I can't stand it. Also, a little teaser. If you guys are looking for something weird, find Mitchell Robinson on TikTok. Weird guy. Fun videos. Very odd. No, he's just like he does a lot of like staring at the camera with like weird white guy country songs playing, and he's like dressed like some weird country guy. Like the who's the guy that the Panthers traded up and drafted that nobody can understand, that just talks like a Southern guy.
Yeah,
KKK.
Xavier Legette.
Yeah,
Legette.
That's all of a sudden Mitchell Robinson gets on TikTok and starts like talking like that and like doing all these seductive like country songs. So it's very upsetting to me. I hate it.
You watching that late at night after a loss?
Yeah, it makes me extra mad when he's fouling Tyrese Maxey to go into overtime. It's fucking unbelievable. And then I had this thought I couldn't say. So there have been 245 minutes of gameplay through 5 games of the series. So that's 5 48-minute games and 1 5-minute overtime. Mm-hmm. Josh Hart has played 232 of those 245 minutes.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He had him out there doing suicides after they lost.
I don't know. I can't be. I don't know if you're fucking with me or not. I did not see that.
I am. I'm just kidding.
It like didn't really surprise me. I had the thought. You've seen Space Jam, right?
Yes.
I literally just had the thought that Thibodeau is just Danny DeVito in Space Jam, and Josh Hart is just the Michael Jordan character, where he just has them like chained out there and just has everybody playing against. Like, you're gonna go get those rebounds. I'm gonna make you play basketball all the time.
Wait. So, oh man, we should really. So who's Foghorn Leghorn?
That's Mitchell Robinson.
Is it Mitchell Robinson? Okay,
yeah, he's the tall Southern guy. Yeah,
regular or extra crispy.
Yeah.
Who's Newman from Seinfeld? Is that Joel Embiid? Just really exhausted.
Yeah. I think we all know with Kyle Lowry's ass, he's Lola Bunny.
Of course, yeah. He's got that cake.
Yeah. I think we got some more. We got some more juice in this lemon. We got to squeeze. We'll come up with it. But yeah, Embiid is entirely insufferable. And I completely loved what the Knicks fans did to Philly. Just made it MSG South. That was just an embarrassment. And I don't know if you saw this. The Sixers owners, Michael Rubin, Josh Harris, David Blitzer, and David Edelman, they said they bought 2,000 tickets for the game. And that. So what was the tweet? It was, we just bought more than 2,000 tickets for the Sixers game 6. We absolutely cannot let Knicks fans take over our arena again, giving them to first responders, healthcare professionals, and other local Philadelphia-based organizations once we know they're legit Sixers fans and not imposters. Go Sixers. We can do this. Bad sports town, good sports town. How do you feel about this move?
That wouldn't happen in Buffalo. Wouldn't need to.
Wouldn't happen. Yeah, can you imagine there being 2,000
at
tickets?
MSG.
Imagine, yeah. Well, first of all, there's only like 7 guys that are rich enough to buy 2,000 tickets at MSG. But
right. Howard Stern, mostly.
I cannot believe that the owners have to buy out tickets. Like, that's just such a bad look. It's like they're making this, it's this charitable thing. We're giving it to local heroes. It's like, you have 2,000 tickets today. Like, the game is tonight. Like, you need to win to stay alive. You have Joel Embiid. This is the process. Like, you've got a chance, and you just have 2,000 tickets you need to give away because you're worried about New York coming down and making a mockery of your stadium again. I love
what
that for us.
What happens if they lose and the city riots, but all the first responders and people are inside of the stadium?
Whoa! Like, what if it just turns into one of those like Batman Dark Knight football field things? Like, it just starts eating itself.
They'll just be, they're trying to call for an ambulance, and they're like, sorry, all the EMTs are at the Sixers game while the city burns. Maybe,
blame Michael Rubin and Josh Harris. He's now also the Commanders owner. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he just wants to bring it down. This is their way. They bring all the helpers on the inside.
And then also, I just need to say, fuck this game being at 9 p.m. Like, come on, just stick the other with the game at the which other game is tonight? Yeah, it's like, come on, it is still a weeknight.
Relax, like, Grandpa, you can stay up one night. You'll be fine.
I know I can, but it's just like, put it on at 7:30. Just do it for me. Come on,
plays at 7:30?
Make this prime time.
I know the Magic played during lunch.
the Magic of the breakfast game. Yeah, the Bucks Pacers. I think like the primetime game.
Okay. Well, because everybody's going to tune in. They're going to tune in at 9. They get the most eyes on it.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's because I'm just nervous. I'm real nervous. I don't feel good about it, but I'm going to get myself amped up. Little teaser for the gambling picks later. But who?
Joel Embiid. You know who's not nervous?
Jalen Brunson
and Josh Hart.
Josh Hart's not nervous.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Did you see that article that said that
OG Anunoby? Because I don't know anything about him. I don't think he gives a fuck. I think the Knicks are going to come out ready to play.
Did you see that interview where Isaiah Hartenstein? So first of all, I didn't know Isaiah Hartenstein was half black, but then I thought about the first name Isaiah. I guess it made a little more sense. Then he was talking about how when the players found out that he's black, they respect me way more.
Hey, whatever it takes. Offensive rebounds, 23andMe, whatever it takes.
It really cracked me up. So I'm all in.
He's awesome. He's awesome, man.
He just fights. It's the opposite of, it's like Embiid is just like all size and all talent and just has no heart, or whatever his heart is just covered in, I think, Mountain Dew, and it's just clogged with something. Yeah. But Hartenstein and Hart are just like will just fight tooth and nail for that shot goes up. It's like they don't make anything easy. So I'm really hoping the Sixers
right there in both of their names, dude.
Yeah. They're all Hart.
Josh Hart, Hartenstein,
Jalen Brunson. Come on now. Sorry, shit.
Yeah, right. Wait, really quick. It is a little scary that you're only going with a 7-man rotation.
That's just what Thibodeau does. He just doesn't care. I mean, Deuce McBride, when he can come in and make those shots, I love him.
7 guys is your one guy. He's gotta suck it up and play Precious Achua or somebody.
Yeah.
You can't do this, Tom. You can't. Someone's got to sit him down and show him Derrick Rose tapes.
He's just going to turn it off.
Remember how good he was? Injured. You blew his whole knee off. Someone's got to play. Yeah. Achua, or bring back Alec Burks. He's still there. Someone's got to get like 10 minutes.
Alec Burks has just been in street clothes this whole series.
What about Shake Milton? I always like Shake Milton.
Oh, maybe he could come in. He could ruin his old team. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I like Shake Milton.
Also, all-time great name.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, you're only playing. I mean, God, that's my only thing. Otherwise, full support. Think the Knicks are great. You can't have OG playing 50 minutes, Brunson playing 51, and Josh Hart playing 53 and win a title.
I agree. Yeah, it's just very short-sighted. It's just like, let's get through this, but then it's just like it's like we're just fighting to get through every game, and it's like we're acting like the mentality like we don't belong there, we don't deserve to be there, like that we're fighting for every opportunity, which is like, I guess I like that. I like that they're fighting hard. I don't like that it's like, what the teams do that have been there before. They have like a set rotation of like, from the end of the first to the beginning of the second, like your star player is resting. Like he's out for 6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
He just is. That's just how it
Yeah,
works.
Steve Kerr always goes deep with the bench. Sometimes even to and that was when Curry was younger. Even if it was not going to be maybe the best decision, he still did it. So
Yep.
I do think guys got to give some guys some burn because they're NBA players. Maybe Alec Burke comes out and he gets open a couple times. All of a sudden, he hits 4 threes.
Yep. Becomes a cult classic. Becomes a hero. Whatever. It's got to happen. We need to end it tonight. We got to end it in Philly. Step on their throats. Joel Embiid is too fat.
Way too fat.
What the fuck? Way too fat. And with
Kelly
Tyrese
Oubre.
Tyrese Maxey at the end of that game fell on his hip very, very hard. He's going to be a step slow. It's not going to work. Can't work.
My grandma fell on her hip very hard.
How'd that go?
She's dead now. She's dead.
Shit.
So
R.I.P. Tyrese.
But let's go Knicks.
I think your grandma was also named Tyrese, right?
It was. Yep. Tyrese Blazel.
That's her. R.I.P. Gotta love her.
R.I.P. Pour one out.
Now, for anybody that actually does tune in for my Premier League updates, I know there's a few of you out there.
All right. See you later, guys.
Yeah. Checking out. This will be quick because it makes me fucking furious. I had to put it at the end of the show because I didn't want to start with this terrible, terrible vibes. Since we talked last time, we have lost 2 games to also London rivals. One is the biggest rivalry in Premier League soccer, North London Derby. Go down 3-0 in the first 30 minutes. The first one is an own goal by Højbjerg, which is like maybe the greatest header I've ever seen in the history of sports. Just went into his own fucking net. Horrific. And then we just give up these 2 bullshit goals. We keep giving up goals on set pieces. We somehow have no ability to defend a corner kick or any sort of free kick. Whoever that coach is needs to be fired. We showed some fight and came back, scored 2 goals, brought it back to 3-2, but we just couldn't get it done at the end. It's we need to win this. A, if we wanted a chance to get into the Champions League next year, and B, it's you need to knock your biggest rival out of playoff contention. They are right now. I don't know if they're technically in pole position. They're in first, but they've played one more game than the team in second, Man City. If Man City wins out all their games, Arsenal will not win the league. But all there needs to be is one slip up from Man City, and then Arsenal basically can just win the league, which is the last thing any team wants to see is their bitter arch rival to win championships. So we had the chance to do all of these things, and we completely shit down our leg. And then earlier today, we played Chelsea away, and it was maybe the worst 30 minutes to start this game I've ever seen. Luckily, they only scored 1 goal. We lost 2-0. Scored 2 set-piece goals, one off a corner, one off a free kick. No defending. I get we have both of our left backs are out for the whole rest of the season. So it's we have our third stringer in there who is not good. He goes over. If somebody sneezes on him, he falls over. Our offense can just look so stagnant at times. And if we're not scoring goals, it's just we lost a spark. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but we just completely lost a spark from where we were earlier in the year. And I don't know how to get it back. I still trust Ange. I don't think that it's one of those we need to burn it down and restart. We've done that enough of the past bunch of years. I think what Ange is building is something good. He's able to get these new guys in. A lot of the signings he's made has been unbelievable. Van de Ven has been incredible. He was able to bring in Madison, who obviously hasn't looked that great over the since he's come back from injury. But I think we give him another full offseason, bring these people in. But it's just we had the chance, and we're just running through a buzzsaw of the schedule right now. Liverpool this weekend, then
miss Harry Kane.
Yeah, we miss a scorer. Richarlison is just not that guy up top. We've played Son there a little bit, and he's looked really good at times. But now with Timo Werner being out for the rest of the season on the left, it's we kind of need to play him over there. So we just need guys that aren't afraid to shoot. And so it's we need to build from the back. We need more depth on defense. We need some midfielders that aren't afraid to step in the box and put their foot through the fucking ball and just shoot it at the net. I don't know. I think we're on the right track, but it's just I don't know what this spark that we've lost is. I think we need to get some more players in there. It just needs to be a little bit more of a culture change. It's just so frustrating to get your heart ripped out by your rivals and then have them still have a chance to win the game. So, like I said, Liverpool this weekend, then Burnley, and then I need your opinion on this. You're playing Man City in 2 weeks. Man City, they win every game. They win the league, which would obviously stop Arsenal from winning the league. Do you go out and throw that game? Let's put this you have a chance to go out and lose. The Bills are playing the 49ers. The Bills are, it's obviously it's hard because like they don't do playoffs the same way. It's
So
literally
we're
just
eliminated from the playoffs in this scenario.
it's like if you win, you maybe have a chance to like. It's just so hard because there's so many other variables. But it's basically like actually no. After losing this game, Tottenham are not making championship. It does nothing for you.
If you're not technically eliminated, then you got to win. But
we are not.
Okay.
It's like not technically, but it's like they would have Aston Villa would have to lose every single game, and we would have to win every single game, which I just don't think is going to happen. I think we needed to win today because we lost today. We really don't have much to play for. So I think it's like you just roll out the B team, right?
Well, you keep saying this scenario where if this Aston Villa loses and you win them all. How many games are left?
4, I think, for us.
I think you just got to keep winning and let the chips fall where they may.
And just
if it's not for like a draft pick or physical, like capital, like you're gonna get something really beneficial from doing it, then no, go out and play. You never know.
You know how much as a Yankee fan, wouldn't you love to be able to still say 19-18 to the Red Sox? Wouldn't you love to still be able to go if the Patriots never had won any of those titles, they kept getting close. Like if the Patriots kept making it to these Super Bowls and just kept losing, it's like
you just find a new way. You just find a new so then it's like fuck you, Boston. Like I can't yell 19-18. I can yell a lot of other things.
Yeah.
You just find other shit to use. Sports is that's a beautiful thing. Every year is a new year. You find a new reason to hate people.
You're right. I'm getting too
I'm
deep
going to find a new way to hate Drake May as much as I hated Tom Brady. I can't wait.
Drake May sucked dick.
It's still the off season. I'll work on some new ones.
we got to give them the chops. But anyway, fuck Arsenal.
Drake
fuck
May,
Chelsea.
more like Drake.
May not. Drake.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
But anyway, let's finish this out. Let's win the people some money, Mike. How about that, huh? Let's do a heat check. Sarah did drop one in here, so we'll get that one off the table first. Sarah has Mavs Clippers over 207.5. I like that.
I like that.
That line feels low to me. Mavs and Clippers are all offense anyway. All it takes is a couple of those guys getting hot. I think that 207 will get hit mid-fourth quarter.
Mavs are about to put that series away.
Yeah, when they get hot, boy.
Yeah, the Clips are done.
It's so weird when Kawhi plays and that team looks worse. It doesn't make sense in my brain.
Add Kawhi and Paul George into the older guys that are never going to win a title as the number one. They're about to get baptized with Kevin Durant, Curry, LeBron, possibly Joel Embiid.
Yes.
Yep. This is a big changing of the guard year. So
I like
that. The Mavs do that. That's another one. Kyrie's one of these like guys above 30 that's still lingering, but he's not a number one. But I'll keep him on the list of older guys who can still get one.
I like that.
These other guys, if they don't jump on a new team, they're not going to win it on their own team. And Giannis, hey Giannis, Dame, it's me, Mike. Yeah. You're almost on that list. Dame, you are going to be on that list. Giannis, I don't think your game's going to age right.
Oh, dude, they're going to be so pissed when they hear this.
I know. I'm going to get, oh my God, my DMs.
It's going to be flooded. All the Dame stands.
And Giannis, no, just from them directly.
Oh, right. Yeah, Giannis is not, what else is he doing? He's not healthy enough to play. Just DMing Mike.
Like I'm trying to put my son to bed, Giannis.
Stop, Giannis. Gigi, what are you doing?
Yeah, so that's what I think. That series is over.
Yeah. So Mike, what do you got? Who's your pick moving in? Heat check.
I have Bucks Pacers over 216.5. I didn't want to take the by the way, guys, still ice cold here. I'm in Antarctica, so I'll find my way out and get real cocky. I do think the Pacers win. The Pacers don't play defense. Dame Lillard is going to play, so I just think take the points. I think that's going to go way over.
Yeah, love it. Why not?
Like 120-110 type game.
Chris Middleton going for 70.
Yeah. Hey, there's a guy. There's an all-time face guy.
Yeah, bad face.
Ooh,
Chris with a K too. Ugh.
It's all bad.
It's so bad. And I'm going down with the ship. I don't care. Especially I see a plus sign next to the Knicks. I got to take it. I'm if you're feeling ballsy, go a little money line. got to end it in 6, but Knicks plus 3.5 feels like we're stealing money. This game's going to be close. Every single one of these games has been close. I know the last one ended up some of these have ended like 5 or 6, but it's like throughout the whole game, it's just been a rock fight back and forth. If you're going to give me 3.5 points in a potential closeout game, I got to take the Knicks.
You got to take them.
What am I going to not?
Dude, got to take them. It's your team.
Got to take them. All right,
You're not going down with the ship. It's only game 6.
Well, I'm on the ship. So it's like I'm setting to sea. I've got my oars. I'm just heading out to sea. I don't know whether we make it or not. Yeah. I haven't planned for lifeboats.
Right. If you don't win this game, then it's like, you might have, got to go down to see how much damage that iceberg did.
Yeah, we got to go check that out. See if the band's still playing.
Oh, Tom Thibodeau would be a good captain in if we had a video editor to put his face on the Titanic captain.
Yeah, he looks like he smells like cigarettes.
Joel Embiid would be the Billy Zane.
Yeah,
I have a child.
Also, total kind of left turn for some reason. Whenever I think about captains of boats, you remember that show with the Deadliest Catch?
Yeah,
I just remember those guys. Those captains would just sit there and just chain smoke cowboy killers for 3 weeks. A guy would just eat cigarettes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and be like, "This is the most dangerous job in the world. I'm driving this boat with these poor guys that just want to go home and make money to build a motorcycle. They're just getting flooded, getting king crab."
He's got to wipe the nicotine off the window. That's why they keep crashing and flipping the boat, because they can't see. They're the only people that live I would say, a more unhealthy life than truckers.
They got the windshield wipers are on the inside of the window.
Oh my
that's
God.
Good stuff. Well, overall, heat check. Sarah, Mavs Clippers over 207.5. Mike's taking the Bucks Pacers over 216.5. And I'm going all in on the Knicks plus 3.5. So let's win some money. Let's do this dance. And let's close out the week strong. So, listen, we appreciate you sticking with the fellas this week. Sarah will be back next week, and like I said, we got an interviews coming back. A little bit of the out of football season, getting some good football talk in with the draft analysts. So we appreciate the listeners as always. Share with your friends. Follow us on Instagram. Well, don't forget to watch us on YouTube. See our shining faces, and there's a whole lot of red on this episode between you and me. So if you want to get
canceled, we did good.
No, I think we did all right. It was only a few little close calls there, but we pulled it off. We landed that plane.
Sarah would be proud.
This one's for you, Sarah. So we love you guys. We appreciate
Free Sarah.
Free Sarah. We will talk to you next week. We love you.